right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to today's conference call. I'm privileged to be asked by Anne Marie to do this call. So obviously just going to talk about just my story here, tips and advice on how to be a successful agent, and specifically what I did to have a $40,000 a month production last month. Earning over $40,000 if I was just an agent. Let me just address my Spanish-speaking people, because we are going to have a Spanish call. If you have anybody that speaks Spanish or you speak Spanish, I talked to Anne Marie about doing a Spanish call yesterday, so we don't have to do a bilingual call on this call and make it too long. Para los que hablan español, vamos a tener una llamada de conferencia en español para el próximo miércoles. Tema similar que hoy, así por si quieren más información en español o tienen agentes que hablan puro español, vamos a hacer una llamada en español la semana que viene y Anne Marie y Angie nos ayudarán a mandar un email para hablar más de ello. So nos vemos para la próxima semana en español. Guys, again, my name is Eric Enriquez. I'm a district manager from Vacaville, California. So that's between Sacramento and San Francisco, if you're wondering. I'm a son of immigrant parents. My parents are from Mexico. I was born here, and I've been in the company for 10.5 years. December 2014 is when I started my career here with the company. Fast forward, I have a great lifestyle thanks to the GM support and system in place, and I have 3 kids now, and life is beautiful. Life is beautiful, you guys. If I talk too much about my lifestyle, I'll probably hurt people's feelings just because how great this opportunity has been. Don't get me wrong, I had to work hard to get here, but just like anything in life, anything worthwhile takes a lot of hard work and discipline. But at the end of the day, it's not as hard as other career options and other things people have to do to put food on the table when you step back and look at it, right? It is a blessing to be here. I'll start back in the beginning, how I got started with the company. I have a good friend and manager, John Burke, for 3 years was telling me about this amazing opportunity. I met John Burke probably when I was 19 or so. I got a job selling Comcast. Me and my brothers, my older brother actually did that, and we found a place that we can go do Comcast door-to-door sales. And the reason why we got involved with that was because we were in a multi-level marketing company, one of those pyramid companies, if you will. Good company still around. It's just very hard to actually make money from, right? But my twin brother, Robert, got me involved in that business while in high school. We were 17 years old, getting involved with this business. And from what they talked about, we thought we'd be millionaires by 21, driving Lamborghinis, at 21, and being millionaires at a young age just because that's what they talked about. And we were just so impressionable and young and naive but hungry. And, coming from immigrant parents, I think we just valued just success, right? My parents came here with nothing, didn't know the language. My dad started a construction company. He has his own little American dream, but he often told us, he wanted us to be better than him. He wanted us to do something bigger than him. And if he wanted to do the family business, great. He has our support. But if we want to do something better, whether that's go to school or just do something else and be successful, that's what he wanted for us, right? That's what we came to this country. And when I saw the opportunity to be your own boss, be an entrepreneur, that's what we were doing for a while. It didn't end up working out there with that business. 9 years we were in there with, other jobs, though, as well. Obviously, it wasn't something that you can just live off of. It was kind of part-time. But for 9 years, right, a part-time business, and that didn't happen. And luckily for us, we were still young. Again, we were 17 when we started there. But one thing a few things that did happen, though, while we were there is that we didn't go to college. I didn't go to college, but that business, if you will, was my college, was my real world experience in business, dealing with people, sales, right? Training, recruiting, a lot of things that have helped me in this business. But more importantly is because I made the decision to educate myself, right? One thing that I learned at 17 years old that stuck with me is that we have to work harder on ourselves than we do on our job, right? A lot of people sometimes ask, and it's good questions, like, oh, well, what do you do when they say this? How do you handle this objection? What do you do when they do this, when this happens? And obviously there's always good feedback you can give there. But when you step back and look at the overall picture, what's even more important is that, you know, you feed your brain and focus on things that make you grow as a person, as a leader, as a salesperson, right? As a parent, right? So I'll get into that in a little bit, but again, how I got involved. For 3 years, John Burke was telling me about joining this business, and once that other business venture failed, I 9 years in the business didn't happen what I thought was going to happen. Then I called my friend John Burke and said, hey, I'm open to doing this, right? But I have to know that it can really happen. I got to make 6 figures or I'm not interested, right? I have a wedding to pay for. I asked for, my high school sweetheart's hand. I promised her the moon thinking that this business was going to have a breakthrough, and it didn't. And I feel like I'm behind in life, and I need to make a lot of money, right? So if I can't make 6 figures, I'm not interested, and I got this wedding to pay for. And I remember John Burke told me, hey, I did it. I made over 6 figures my first year here, and my manager, Adam Hell, made even more than me his first 12 months. And we have a system in place. We have training to help you reach that goal. Just follow the system, bring your work ethic, follow our system, be ready to work 50 to 60 hours a week, and for sure you'll make it happen. And I said, John, I'm willing to work whatever it takes, man, because, I learned a lot in this business. It didn't happen. I invested more than I made, and I'm hungry, right? I'm 26, about to be 27. I'm ready to get my life going, make sure my wife is a stay-at-home mom, which was my short-term goal, is pay for the wedding. I didn't want her parents to have to put up any money, or my parents, right, just being independent, and I don't want to mooch off of anybody. I wanted to make sure I paid for the wedding, and I did. 8 months into well, let me talk about my first day first, right? My first day, what was my training and support like, right? There was some training to do, and really just some self-training. I got emailed some scripts, some stuff to memorize and go over. And I will tell you that I was like some of you that got a similar email, whether it's from me or from other managers, where I thought I can just learn on the fly, right? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's the script. Let's go knock doors then, right? And then I'll tell my manager, okay, when can we go out to the field? He said, Eric, well, where's the script? I'm like, yeah, I reviewed it. I'll have it down. He's like, well, let me know. Let's role play. I'm like, well, I don't have it memorized, but I'll learn it. I'm not worried about learning on the go and while we're out there knocking doors. And he told me, Eric, don't waste my time. Memorize the script, or we're not going to work together here, because this is not Comcast door-to-door where you can just go and learn on the fly or whatever. These are leads that the company provides. We're expected to return a profit and have a decent closing ratio, or it looks bad on you, it looks bad on me. And last thing I want to do is give you leads that cost you money and you just create all this debt and not be successful. So please don't waste my time. Tell me when you have the scripts memorized. This isn't something that you have to, that this is something that you can just learn on the fly. This is serious, Eric. This is a big boy business. Put your big boy pants on. Follow the system and training. Stop trying to shortcut it or do it differently than what I ask you. And if you guys know John Burke, he is very blunt and says it how it is, doesn't sugarcoat anything. And we're friends, so he was going to keep it real with me, right? So I was like, okay, but you're right, right? Obviously, I've done my fair share of training in my previous business and recruiting, and so I knew I was like, all right, I have to be coachable to this. I can't come in with a big head thinking I know what I got to do. I have to be just coachable and follow the system. This is new. I've never done insurance before because I hadn't. This is the only thing I've done in insurance, and I took the training serious after that, right? I memorized the scripts. And I told them I was ready. We did role play them, and I created a flashcard. I recorded myself so I can memorize the script, listening to it over and over like a song. And I get people give me a lot of flack on that. Oh, I can't memorize it, blah blah blah. And I tell people, like, hey, how many songs can come on the radio, and you'll start singing along with these songs, right? And memorizing these songs have made you zero money. Maybe you look cool at the party or at the concert, but they make you zero money. And when I show you a script on how to make millions of dollars, you make a big deal and tell me you don't have the time, energy, or brain power to do it. It's nonsense, right? Learn the scripts, then we can go out to field training, period, right? And if you want to do it differently, then go ahead, good luck, right? But we're not going to give you leads then, because the leads are given to the people that we know can follow the system and are going to be successful. Now, it's just my way or the highway. If you want to do it your way, the leads are available, then you got to buy them up front. Remember, we finance the leads here. That's a beautiful thing about Lincoln Heritage. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you want to do it our way, there's scripts to memorize and training to go through. If you want to do it your way, put your money on the line then and pay for the leads up front. And because we know that our system works. We don't know if your system works. It might, but we don't know that. And what you're asking is for us to let you borrow money, and that's a bad way to start a relationship by asking us to borrow money, right? But again, my training and support was phenomenal. Once I learned the scripts, I went out with my manager, John Burke. We went out knocking some doors. I saw how he handled objections at the door. I saw how he did his presentation, how he put it all in place. I saw how he used the different tools available from the company. So it just made complete sense. He happened not to sell anything that day, but to me it didn't matter. All I had to see is, okay, the people did let us in, so the leads are legit. I see how he put everything together in the presentation, just how it's in the script. I see a few tools that I didn't have my hands on at first, but he provided them to me, and I see how we use the different tools and how unique the program is, right? We're not out there trying to compare and trying to be cheaper than what they have, ladies and gentlemen. Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage it's a product all on its own, and you have to follow the system, explain the program. These people have never seen something like this, right? I've never seen something like this. And you can pay claims without 24 hours. When you can pay claims within 24 hours with no death certificate required, it's unheard of. The way we help people with the final arrangements and help them save money, and a emergency line available 24 hours a day, all these things that make our system very unique. We create our own lane so that if they do have insurance, they get this too. If they don't have anything, this is the best thing they can possibly get for their families, right? So learning the scripts again and the training that was provided to me was phenomenal. Once I got done with the training, I went out my first day. I took my leads. There was 20 in my area. Well, not necessarily in my area. I drove 40 minutes to the leads, which brings me to another point. You have to be willing to put in the miles for the leads. They're not always going to be in your backyard, right? For those people that live in the big metro area, great. You're lucky, right? Driving across town is only, 30 minutes, 35 maybe, for the most part. And you're lucky to be in a big, metro area. But for those people that have to drive, it is what it is. We got to go where the leads are. So I drove about 45 minutes to where my leads were. But I did sell 2 policies my first day. I made over $800 my first day. So what I made in commissions my first day, not all up front, obviously we get paid most of our commission up front and then the rest in the back end, starting with their second payment. But I made more money my first day selling 2 policies than what the leads cost me for the whole week. So that was exciting to see. When I did the numbers going home, I was like, wow, I made more money today than what the leads cost me for the whole week. So I'm already profitable. And there's all these doors I didn't even get to, and people didn't find home. And sure enough, I sold more that week. I got my 30% closing ratio, and I've literally been profitable in this business since day one, right? December 11th, 2014. 3 weeks in, I went full-time. At first, I was just working part-time after work, and after I was working construction. My dad's business, as my other business had failed. My dad was always a safety net for me and my brothers. I went to work construction. Again, right, something that I started here just to pay. Honestly, at first, I didn't understand the magnitude of the business. I didn't fully believe John Burke. I did, but I didn't, right, because of all the promises that all these other companies had made me. So it's not that I didn't think it was possible necessarily. I just didn't understand the magnitude of the business. So I started part-time. After work, I would go home, take a shower, get a quick bite, and I would knock doors, right? And it was in the middle of the winter, so it was mostly dark. By the time I started knocking doors, 5:30, it was already dark, right? But I just did what I had to do. Saturday and Sundays, I would go out and knock. Again, my first day, I sold 2 policies, made over $800, I went full-time in 3 weeks. I saw the money that I was making. And honestly, the money I was losing by going to work and getting paid, whatever it was, $15 an hour or whatever, I was losing money going to work my dad than if I just went full-time in the business. So 3 weeks in, I told my dad, like, Dad, it's costing me money going to work with you. Making more money part-time after work and on weekends, I'm going to go full-time with this thing because it's real. I'm getting these commissions, it's way better than the other business I was in. And he's like, hey, do what you got to do. Hopefully it's better than the last thing, but, you got to do what you got to do. I'm like, cool. So I went full-time. And my first full month in the business, you guys, I was looking at the numbers. Adam Howe used to give our email productions all the time. My first full month here, I did actually just shy of $17,000 in annualized premium, meaning in total commissions about $13,000 or so. My first year, actually, I did become the number 10 agent for Golden Memorial in 2015. Again, all thanks to the system and training of Golden Memorial and the great lead system of Lincoln Heritage, right? But again, my short-term goal was just to pay for that wedding. 8 months in, I was able to do that. I paid for everything, including a honeymoon to Hawaii. Me and my wife had a great time, a great wedding. My midterm goal here was to get rich, to have my wife to be a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife and mom, but do it in style, right? Not just, survive, but thrive. And my long-term goal is to get wealthy and live the true American dream, which in my head, the true American dream is, having time and money together. And with your health, right? Because, we have people who own businesses, you guys, and a lot of these businesses, their American dream is really an American nightmare, right? They're working super hard, dealing with employees, dealing with payroll, dealing with taxes, all these things that they have to do, and they're working super hard. They don't have time for vacation. They don't have time for themselves. They don't have time for their family. They're so stressed out. Guys, all my bills are paid at the beginning of each month, right? I don't have to worry about my bills. I have a cash flow business. I live stress-free. Every single month, all my bills are taken care of at the beginning of the month. It's just a beautiful business, right? But, it took hard work, especially in the beginning. I have to make my foundation. Too many people come into this business thinking they're going to have time and money right away. I don't know why, but I talk to a lot of these people that want to work here, and they think for some reason insurance is like a shortcut, which it kind of is, but not right away. Oh, I want to work, 3-4 days and then, days off and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what you think you're selling here or how you think it works, but you got to really put your head down and go to work for 2-3 years, make your bed, build your foundation, and the business only gets easier. But, right, like anything that's worthwhile, it takes time, it takes hard work. But the great thing here, you guys, is how this business pays off, right? The harder you work in this, the easier the business becomes, and your book of business works for you. But again, let's talk about how did I do it, right? How did I become the number 10 agent in the company and the agency my first year? After a year here, just FYI, after a year here, I was earning $3,000 a month, whether I worked or not. That's our paid through money, right? Again, we get paid most of our commission up front, and we collect $12 on average per client for the next 12 payments, right? That's out of an average $60 a month policy. It's a $576 commission most of the time, more or less, and the company gives us the leads up front at no upfront cost. Once you make commissions, they just take a percentage from your upfront commission to pay back the leads. But after a year here, from the back end money that starts with their second payment, I was collecting $3,000 a month whether I worked or not. After 2 years, right? After 2 years of just working hard, I was making over $6,500 a month of whether I worked or not. From now, I was starting to collect residual income, and my pay through obviously growing and growing from all the clients I'm adding to my book of business, right? But again, how was I able to do it? First of all, obviously working hard, right? John Burke and Adam Hell kept reminding me, hey, you have to work. To make six figures, you have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. And I was willing to put in the work, right? I wanted to test it out to see if they're real, right? Hey, I'm going to put in the work. And if this isn't true, I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to tell you that it's not true. I'm doing exactly what you're telling me to do. I'm following the scripts. I'm going out there knocking my doors, working the leads, following the system. And if I didn't get results, which I did immediately, so I had no gripe there, but if I didn't get the results, then I can tell them, hey, this ain't working. What's going on? Now, to be fair, it also takes us to be a sales professional and a closer, if you will. And even if for me I had no sales experience, and most of my team, no insurance experience, most of my team has no insurance experience, actually all of them, and most had no sales experience, right? But what I preach and what I did was I became a student and learning from successful people through books and audio tapes, people that I don't know but that are successful in what I want to be successful in, right, which is being a leader, salesmanship, business philosophy, right? So, for example, I'm always listening to audiobooks, right? I read books, listen to audio mostly now. I listen to a lot of audios. We drive a lot. So learning from people that can teach me how to be a successful individual. Guys, Lincoln Heritage is in the insurance business, but you and I are in the people's business, right? For example, hold on. So, for example, here we got to work harder in ourselves than we do in our job, and I'll name a few authors that helped me become a great salesperson. I'm sorry, reminding this agent that we have a call. They should be on right now. For example, these are some people that I recommend listening to, right, that shaped my life to be a good salesperson, a leader, a critical thinker, and an entrepreneur. Jim Rohn, Anthony Robbins, John C. Maxwell, Gary Vaynerchuk, Randy Gage, Chris Widener, Dale Carnegie, Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, Napoleon Hill, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Darren Hardy, Art Williams, Zig Ziglar, and there's many more. Zig Ziglar, and there's many more people, right, that we can learn from to be successful everything, not just in the business, guys, but in your overall life, right? How to be a better husband, how to be a better father, how to, health, how to have a good health. Is very important, you guys. The average person only only reads one book after they stop going to school. That's crazy. And you wonder why a lot of people in America are, overweight, sick, and broke, right? Because they never take a time to learn after they stopped whatever it was, whether it's high school, college, or whatever. Most people stop learning. And if you make a learning a way of life, you guys, you're going to be able to achieve those higher things, right? Something that stuck out to me when I was young is to reach the things in the higher echelon, on the higher shelves, you got to step on the books that you've read to reach the higher things on the shelf, right? So I have all these books that I've read, that I've listened to, that have helped me reach the higher things in life, right? And let me talk about the licensing, right? To get the license for most states, it's less than a week or two of online classes that you do in your own spare time. It's less than $500, right, to get your license in most states. And you have this unlimited income opportunity to earn residual income and have time and money together. And it's funny, right? It just came about on social media or something, talking about how doctors, on average, spend 12 years to get their doctorate, and even more if they're going to go into a specialty. And they spend easily around $350,000 for their degree to make about $250,000 a year, right? And that's before taxes, because they're W-2 income. Most of them are. They pay 32% in taxes right off of that. Guys, my second year, I made more than that, or I made just about that. My 1099 was $247,000 my second year here. And that's something that John Burke and Adam Hale never told me. They never told me. They told me I can make six figures my first year, but they didn't say I can sniff $250,000 my second year. But it happened because I kept working hard, kept adding to my book of business, right? I got better at my job, at my craft, and I was able to make a ton of my second year, make way more. My residual income I paid through, right? And it's a 1099 business, so I get all the tax breaks like a Fortune 500 corporation, right? And again, I've created a great lifestyle for myself, where I've even inspired family members to join this business, right? I have brothers that are in this business. My twin brother got involved here. My older brother sells here as well. My uncle got involved. Now my 18-year-old cousin got involved. I shared a post last week where 5 Enriquez's got paid on one day from the sales that we made over the weekend or that day, right? So it's just awesome to, go out and work hard and inspire others to work here and have similar results, and even more so when it's family, right, and people that you know. But to go through some, common questions that I usually ask is, what does a typical day look like here? First, I'll talk about when I was just an agent. When I was just an agent, you guys, I would take a lot of leads. I usually would get leads on Friday from my manager, a bunch of leads, right? 30 to 60 leads sometimes, but more commonly 30 to 40 leads a week. I would print them out over the weekend, route them out in our routing app that we use, and I would just go out there and work the leads Monday through Saturday. At first, I was only working Monday through Friday. And honestly, I'm not the best morning person, and I am a night owl, so I would start knocking doors about 10 a.m., but I would knock all the way till 9 p.m. all the time. I'm just a night owl. It's how I work. Some people feel uncomfortable with that. It just, again, beauty of this business, it's flexible enough to work it how you want. We have people that are early birds and are out there knocking doors by 8 a.m., but I'm more of a night owl, and, I do get lucky finding people home in the evening sometimes, or very often, till this day. But I work the leads, right? I work the leads. I never call, right? Some people ask, what do you say? Do you call people? No, I don't. My manager's never called. I don't call ever. I just go and knock on the door and deliver the package that I'm expected to deliver. Guys, I go out to the field expecting the best, but be prepared for the worst. And I talk about that to my team all the time. Too many of us lose the battle already, where we're going out there with a negative attitude. Oh, let's see how it goes today. Oh, hopefully people are home today. Let's see how many people are negative today. Even putting those thoughts in your head, you're already losing, right? Guys, we got to go out there expecting the best. What I tell myself every day when I'm out there knocking doors is, who am I going to bless today, right? I always find people home. People always welcome me in. People love me. People always buy from me. People always have checking accounts. I am the number one agent in the company. Even if I wasn't for so long, I say that to get myself going. Believe it, and it'll become true. And guess what? Last month, I was the number one agent in the agency, right? And I've hit number one a few times in my career. Most of the time I didn't, but having that conversation with myself is what has helped me go out there with a positive attitude and get the best results, right? You attract what you think. Again, talking about what you feed your brain, right? If I think people are going to be negative, that's what I'm going to attract. If I question the leads that they're not good quality, that's what I'm going to attract, right? Luckily for me, I had a friend that has had success, and I just, believed it 100%. Well, I guess not 100%, but I did go out with the best attitude. But sure enough, first day, profitable. Said, this is it, right? 3 weeks in, I went full time. So it definitely works. But at first, I would only work Saturdays if I blinked. If I didn't sell on one day, between Monday to Friday, I would pick up a Saturday. After the wedding, and we did get pregnant shortly after we got married, and I found out I was going to be a dad, I did start working religiously Monday through Saturday. I said, all right, I got to turn it up. My wife is not going to work anymore. She's going to be a stay-at-home mom. That's the goal. I can make it happen in this business. So I have to work 6 days a week, right? I was 27, have all the time, no kids, let's go. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., right? Saturdays was always good to find people home, make appointments for people that couldn't do it on the weekdays. So it was Monday through Saturday, right? Sundays, hang out with my wife, play soccer, do things, right? And back at it on Monday religiously, you guys. I wouldn't let anything interfere with my work time, okay? In my first 2 years, you guys, I wasn't going to parties on Saturdays. I didn't have time. I was too busy getting rich. Sorry, uncles, cousins, everybody. I mean, I'll probably show up late, right? If it was something near and dear. Hey, parties at 5, you might find me at 8 o'clock. I got work to do. I got business to handle. I got dreams to achieve, right? And no party is important enough for me to miss out on my goals, right? And that's the thing. Too many people are not willing to sacrifice, you guys. It was 2 years of sacrifice, of not doing much, just going to work. But guess what? We got to travel for free from the company. I'll get into that in just a little bit. But, just there's a little bit of sacrifice, right? Especially if you're behind. If you got some making up to do, let's go, right? Only you are stopping yourself. Too many things, too many people want to be the super husband and the super dad and always volunteering and all these things, and your house is in shambles. It's a mess. Your bills are behind. You're about to get evicted. Guys, we have to sacrifice a little bit. You have to talk to your family, sit down, and say, hey, mommy or daddy is not going to be around here for a little while, but we're not going to be, the PG&E bill is not going to get cut, or the electric bill is not going to get cut out, right? We're going to be able to go on all these trips. This is a serious business that needs my time and effort for the first, 2 or 3 years, and after that is going to be way better, right? But we have to be able to sacrifice. If you start part-time like I did, you have to burn the candle on both ends. You're not going to see your family a lot. Guys, in the beginning, especially, there was days I would leave before my family was awake, and I would come back once everyone was sleeping, because I made an appointment early in the morning at 9 to get me out of bed, drive an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes to where the leads are, knock doors till 9, or made an appointment at 8, finish about 9:30, 2.5-hour drive, 11:30 home, right? And that was a day. But I made several thousands of dollars. I sold 3, 5, 7, 8. My record is 11 policies in one day, and I was stacking my chips, making money, making my foundation, knowing that this business is not a grind forever. It's a grind for a short time to live like a king for the rest of your life, or a queen, right? But too many people just take it too easy on themselves and don't really, rock the boat, sacrifice a little bit to get the true results that this business is meant to, right? Nowadays, it's a little bit different. My day-to-day, I'm on the phone a lot. I'm talking to new recruits. I'm training. I'm role-playing, helping people overcome objections and stuff like that. But I still find a way to knock doors. Proof in the pudding, right? I sold over $47,000 last month. How I did $47,000 last month specifically and made over $40,000. First of all, let's be clear, I made way more than $40,000 last month, right? Let me say that again. I made probably double than $40,000 last month. But what I'm talking about, if it was just my second year here with no agents, just an agent myself working my leads, if I did what I did last month, 9 years ago, I would have made about $40,000 in commissions. Obviously, not all up front. They only pay me a 75% advance, take a little bit for the leads, but that's how much I'd be generating in commissions, right? So it's definitely good. Now, I took 80 leads last month, and I turned that to 59 applications. So that's a 74% closing ratio. Now, why is it so high? Because I'm great. I'm just kidding. To be honest, the last 2 months or so have been what we call upgrade time. Policyholder mailers, people who have the policy with us already that want to upgrade their policy. We got a bunch of those type of leads this month and last month. So I did have some rollover from last month. I think I did like 27,000 last month, I believe, 25,000. So that's a pretty good number. I did 47,000. But this is the thing, right? Not only am I going to visit clients that I helped 2 years ago, 5 years ago. One gentleman, I upgraded him for the 6th time since I first helped him in 2017, right? One lady, I helped her upgrade her policy from 10 years ago, almost 10 years to the date. In 2015, I sold her. She upgraded her policy, and not only did she upgrade her policy for double the coverage, but she also, her daughter, who's her caretaker now, got the policy there as well because her son, my client's son, passed away actually last month, the month previous, and they saw how much it cost and everything, so she wanted to upgrade her policy for more coverage, and now the daughter was open to get the policy as well, right? I do a lot of cold door knocking, you guys. When I go talk to a lead, I do not only talk to the lead, but I also cold door knock on the neighbors, right? There's been leads that they didn't buy, they were rude. I say hi to the neighbors, and I pick up a neighbor sometimes, right? Obviously, we know most cold doors aren't going to buy, but if you knock 50 cold doors, one person will buy. Referrals, always asking for referrals, especially when I go visit my clients. They've talked to people. They believe in it. They got the policy in the mail. They got their emergency cards. They get all this stuff from the company and offers. So I ask for referrals and even self-generated. From top of my head, at least 2 policies that I self-generated last month that people that reached out to me because of my social media posts and ask about my program, people that I still offer my services to. I know their life has changed, retirement is coming, or they don't have the same job and their benefits moved or whatever. So always talking to family and friends, obviously, and also your book of business works for you, right? I have people that refer me to their family and friends. They call me, right? I had a lady call me from my magnet fridge business card that I put on all my clients' refrigerators and said, yeah, you helped my uncle and aunt in 2022, and I want to get the policy from some tragedies that happened in my family. But on average, you guys, you do a 30% closing ratio fall in the system. For people that do a lot of self-generated by like cold doors, referrals like me, we do get a higher closing percentage, more profitable. But this is what can happen to you in the future. You can also have a successful book of business. The company markets to your existing clients twice a year to offer them to increase. So you're able to visit clients from years past, from sometimes months past, or even for me now, a decade ago, to go revisit them and offer them more coverage. So that's a great thing. Lincoln keeps marketing to your existing clients. So again, the harder you work, especially in the beginning, the more you're setting up yourself for future sales and future success, right? Just how the company works and what they do here. Let me go over the 3 rules I tell agents they have to do to be successful here, right? And I learned it from the great John Burke. He broke it down simply, and I heard it from him. 1 is work ethic. It goes without saying. We have to put in the work to be successful here, right? Work ethic. They told me 50 to 60 hours a week to make that 6 figures. I committed to that. I told my fiance that I was going to go and do this. She, thank God, believed in me and stood by my side and has been my biggest cheerleader. She always just believed in me for some reason. Thank you, babe, for all your support through the years. And I was able to go out there. Nothing crazy. It's not like I'm working. I mean, guys, my dad has a business. He's working more than that, labor, right? My father-in-law owns a restaurant, and he's there every day, 6 in the morning until 8 p.m., every day like clockwork, right? 6 days a week. It's crazy. And till this day, he still does it. I don't have to work that hard anymore, to be honest, right? And I'm telling you, but you got to put in the work, right? 2, strong, positive mental attitude. Easier said than done, right? We have to have a strong, positive mental attitude. We're dealing with rejection day in and day out. We have to remain positive in everything, right? And sometimes you have to try to have a peaceful relationships outside of work as well. You got to have your stuff in order because it's hard to come in this business with a lot of baggage and a lot of things going on in your personal life because we're dealing with people, we're dealing with emotions, and we have to have a strong positive mental attitude. And 3, coachable and teachable, right? Follow the system. It's already laid out for you. And communicate on a regular basis as part of that, right? My most successful agent last month, besides me, was Samuel. He's 20 years old. He's only 20. He's 20 years old. Went full time recently, and he called me the most last month, unsurprisingly, and sold $17,000 in production, made about $12,000, $13,000 last month, right? So communicate it on a regular basis, you guys. My manager would expect me to call. Hey, after you talk to somebody, whether they rejected you at the door or weren't able to close it, call me. Let's talk about it. And I give you tips and advice as to what you could do next time when you see those same objections or situations so you can be better next time. So, again, coachable and teachable and communicate on a regular basis. But, guys, this business is meant for you to thrive, not just survive, right? It's like the faster you work the business, the better. Working 30 leads in a week is better than working 30 leads in 2 weeks, for example, right? Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Embrace the grind. Don't worry about the lead debts or how far you have to drive. Have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. Your creator will provide. After 2 years of hard work, the business, again, gets easier, right? The problem is most agents don't go hardcore ever. Therefore, doing decent but never great, right? And the enemy of great is good. Again, don't get comfortable. Have those goals for yourself, right? Short-term goals, long-term goals. The top reasons why agents fail here, you guys. A lot of people don't know how to employ themselves, right? They're their nicest boss. They let themselves start late. They allow themselves to come back early, right? They give in to the pressures of, the spouse wanting to see them, understandably so. Come home, stay home. Hey, you already sold one. Why don't you just come home, right? I had a rule with my wife, like, hey, if it's not important, you want to send me I love you text, great, but don't try to ask me to come home or do this or do that. Like, I got goals to do. We got a wedding to pay for. Leave me alone when I'm in the field, right? The problems with the kids, they'll be there when I get home. You know what I mean? I don't got to hear a 30-minute conversation as to what happened. Tell me when I get home. Why mess up my day? I'm out here grinding. I don't have time to deal with it right now, right? Some of you might not agree with that, but that's the type of conversation I had with my wife, to have her be my number one supporter and not bring up negativity to me when I'm out knocking doors. I have to be in the right mindset, and I can't let dumb stuff with obviously that's sometimes it's important, but I'm saying other drama and other stuff that's not important to interfere with my day, right? Let me see. We lack discipline. Don't keep a schedule. We allow others to take advantage of our flexible job. Guys, you do not want to become the Uber of your family, the DoorDash of your family, the errand person of your family. They have to respect your time, just like any other job. If you were a doctor, would they be calling you and asking you mid-surgery to go pick up the dry cleaners or, whatever? You know what I mean? Your family has to respect your time. They can't be asking you to do this. Just because you have the flexibility and freedom to go out there and run an errand doesn't mean you should, or you should even be asked. I take that as offense. My first 2 years, my brothers, my parents, they couldn't ask me for a favor, right? They couldn't ask me to go do this or go do that. They couldn't even ask me to move on a Saturday. I'm too busy, man. I'm busy getting rich. No, I'm sorry. I got goals. I got numbers to chase. I don't have time to deal with this, right? But I'll tell you what I could do. I could let my dad borrow thousands of dollars when he needed it. When he didn't get paid from his previous job or something happened or emergency, my dad could ask me for some money because I had it, right? But he couldn't ask me for my time, at least not at that point in my career, right, my first 2 years. But he could ask me for money, and I would be more willing to help him with money than with my time at that point. Now I have to have money together. Now it's changed, and I'm able to help even more people, right? But what else? A lot of agents don't know how to handle success. What happened here? Right? They finally have a big month, and they want to go out on a vacation. They're like, oh, man, I had a great month. Let me go out and on a vacation because I had great success. You know what I mean? And it's like, or they sell a policy by 12 and they go home, right? Claudia shared that in one of her success testimonials. She used to sell a policy or two, and then I'm going to go home. I had a good day. Now she knows every day she's working till, 7, 8 p.m. A lady, right? In a small Salvadoran lady. She's out there knocking doors in the street of Vegas till 7 or 8 p.m., just whatever it takes to make it happen, right? Let me see here. So what I see from people that are not successful here is that they're always busy doing everything and anything except the money-making activities that it takes to be successful here. And the money-making activities here, you guys, are talking to prospects, whether that's leads, cold doors, or asking for referrals, presenting, obviously, the great product that we have in place, closing, and, again, referrals, right? Those are the money activities. The more of that you can do, the more money you would make, right? And what I ask you, even though you experience agents here, if you had your own business with employees and your employee has worked the same amount of hours that you have worked this week so far, Monday and Tuesday, right? What have you done the last 2 days? Would you keep that employee around or would you fire that employee, right? So think about that. If you had an employee, you were paying them $20 an hour, $30 an hour, whatever, we make more than that, and they worked as much as you worked let's say the last week, or the excuses that you've made of why you're not out there knocking doors and getting results, will you fire yourself? Or will you still have a job, right? Guys, success leaves clues, right? Successful agents always communicate. Successful agents are competitive in a friendly way. Successful agents always ask themselves, what could I have done better, right? Successful agents talk less and listen more with their managers and with their clients and anywhere, really. Successful agents have a whatever it takes mentality, right? I remember the story that agent of mine, Juan, shared recently. You know, he helped a lady set up the bank account information or her mobile app on her bank so she can get the account number. Like whatever it takes, driving people to the banks, doing whatever it takes to make it happen, right? Successful agents are willing to get uncomfortable so that their kids can live a comfortable life, right? I'll do whatever it takes for my kids to be taken care of. Right? If that's knocking doors till 9 p.m., if that's driving 2 hours for leads, which I was just doing last week, I'll do it, right? And this business is the epitome of that, right? That this income will outlive us, you guys. A real short to end it all. I unfortunately had a great agent and friend of mine pass away last month. This gentleman had, last year. He went to some company trips with us, produced at a very, very decent level. Unfortunately, passed away at 43, left 4 children behind. And guess what, you guys? On July 1st, 2 Fridays ago, his kids get money now from what he did while he was here. This business will outlive you, right? Mr. Ray Berrigan Sr., who started this company, his family's still getting paid from stuff that he did while he was here, and he's been passed away, I think, about over a decade, 15 years or whatever it is, right? A long time. and his family still gets paid from the work that he did while he was here. This business is beautiful. It's rewarding, right, guys? My current lifestyle is amazing, right? I was able to have a dream, American dream, you guys, right? An immigrant son achieved the American dream thanks to Golden Memorial support and training and the great lead system and product that Lincoln Heritage has to offer. I have my house, right? Not my dream house yet, but I have a house. I have some dream cars. I have time and money together. I'm my kid's soccer coach, right? I have the time and to be able to coach my kids' soccer. Soccer for me has been a great place in my life where I can, I develop myself as a leader. I build my competitive spirit, created discipline, and now I'm able to share that with my kids and get them involved with activities. I play soccer myself every weekend on Friday night, senior soccer league, and I sponsor the team, you guys. I buy the uniforms, I buy the equipment, I pay for everything just to have a good time with friends and former and fellow soccer players. It's just awesome what this company can do for you if you just go to work, right? But I have time and money together. I'm in a position to help out my family. My dad knows that he's taken care of. My twin brother here, Robert, has been with us for 8 years too, and he has created a very successful book of business, has been a top 10 agent in the agency as well. In 2021, he was a number 4 agent. He had a bigger month than me at one time already. He beat my record of the highest production month. And my dad knows, hey, if something were to happen to me, or when I retire, I know my kids are going to be able to take care of me because they've done well for themselves, way better than what I thought they could do. And I know that they'll take care of my wife when I'm gone, or I know that they'll take care of us when he retires because he has no retirement plan really. He has a business, that hasn't chipped in as much into Social Security or anything like that, but it doesn't matter because the goal even before this business was to retire my parents for me and my brothers, and we have found a place that we planted our flag years ago and have created this a successful business so that we can not only take care of ourselves, but at this point our parents, and we're with the money that we're making as well, that's going to keep coming for generations to come. Because right now I'm 37, and a lot of these clients are older than me. Most of them, right? But it's going to come to a point where these people are going to be younger than me. I'm going to be in my 60s and maybe hopefully 70s and selling people who are younger than me so that the money is going to outlive me and go to my estate and go to my kids and my grandkids, right? So it's a beautiful business, you guys. Don't take it for granted. I look forward to seeing you at the top. Just to finish off, we'll open up for any questions that you might have. I don't want to hold you guys up that much. I didn't think I was going to talk for this long, but I get on tangents and I follow my notes here. But we got about 5 minutes for questions, Angie, if you want to open it up. And then I am on social media, you guys. Eric Enriquez. I have a page. I call it Final Expense Expert. I put out videos. I haven't recently because of the work I've been putting in, so I guess I got a good excuse as to why I haven't for the last 2 months. But, the business has been great, traveling the world for free. I haven't talked about enough. We went to Italy a few months ago. I had a few agents that were able to go there with us, and it's just been great. Angie, any questions that we can answer?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. So if anyone has a question for Eric, can you please check 5-star? 5-star if you have any questions. Any questions or comments, please check 5-star. And we have phone number ending in 8569. Your name and your question, please.
What's up, Eric? It's Big Tez. How you doing, man?
What up, Big Tez? Good. How are you, brother?
Nothing much, man. You dropped a lot of flaming hot nuggets on these guys. I hope everybody was on here listening. This is a guy who's proven himself. Everything that he was saying is absolutely true to the statement. Even when you said something about, you sold all that stuff because you're great. You are, man. You're a great guy. So just want to thank you for coming on here, blessing so many people. I have a couple of new agents on here as well, too, who definitely will benefit from your encouragement, man, positivity. So keep doing your thing. Proud of you, man. Glad you're growing and getting big. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Big Taz. I appreciate it, man. Great seeing you in in Italy. We had a great time out there. And yeah, it's funny. Tez text here in a group that we have. He liked when I said I'm busy getting rich, but it's true, right? Like I'm telling you, man. I know you have the same attitude, Big Tez, and that's why you're where you're at. But it's like too many people want to make too many other people happy, and their house is not even up to where it should be. Their finances and stuff. It's like, man, you got to get busy getting rich, especially as you know, Tez. After 2-3 years of hard work, the business only gets easier. It gets better. That pay through comes every month like clockwork. Your bills are paid, and now you're just building wealth. You know what I mean? You know how it is.
Definitely, man. And that point you touched on about staying in communication. Even I've been doing this for over 20 years now, man. I'm still in communication with a lot of uplines and agents and stuff like that. So it never stops. Although you don't become dependent on people like you were when you first started, that communication is always good and to spread that positivity. And just plugging in, especially for newer agents, plugging in, making sure that after that first house or so, you touch bases, because a person who's done this longer than you can always offer you some advice to help you improve. And even myself, I can still improve. You never stop improving and growing. So excellent points, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was talking to Nate, yesterday or 2 days ago? Just my manager now, my regional manager, Nate Berrigan, just asking him questions, getting his advice, his input on, and other things, right? There's levels to it. But even basic stuff, I still, obviously, even from my new agents, I learn people that are out there, and I learn from new people all the time, too.
Yep. Stuff, man. Thanks, bro.
Awesome, brother.
Thank you. Okay, now we have phone ending in 5492. Your name and your question, please.
This is Dan Leonmonte.
Good morning.
Hello, Danny. Hello? We can hear you.
You hear me, Eric, right now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Eric, I was talking with Oscar Salina like 3 days ago, and we were talking about you. Like, damn, I need to talk with Eric. Sorry about that. But listen, I will do my best. English is my second language, guys. Just in case if you don't understand something, just let me know, and I can repeat it back again. Eric. 3 questions, brother. 3 questions. We here on the East Coast in Virginia, we have a lot of English lease English, right? So
yes,
very some leasing in Spanish. It's really tough. I'm really good. Working the Latin.
We're losing you, Danny. We can't hear you now. We can't hear him.
Yeah, I don't hear him either. Stanley, are you there?
Okay.
You hear me now? 1, 2,
yes.
1, 2. You hear me now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
The question, Eric. The first one is you close more in English than in Spanish, or vice versa. The second is, do you treat English lyrics in Spanish the same? And the third question is, I've been having a lot of issues with trying to getting in the house with the English leagues. What advice can you give us, or strategy can you give us, or can you share with us? Because there's a bunch of leasing English here, and we don't know how to work the leasing English. Can you help us out how to connect with the Anglo market?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Spanish, English, you know what I mean? Any language, man, it doesn't matter, right? White, black, Filipinos, deaf, also deaf people, brother, right? Just find a way to do it. You got to follow the system, right? The more you think that the English leads are different than the Spanish leads is how you're not going to have success. Because if you treat them like they're super different, that's where you're having that mental struggle. So you got to treat them the same way, right? Now, our Spanish leads a little bit more hospitable and a little bit more open because there's less people that speak Spanish and visit them. It's rare, so they're more excited. Oh, wow, finally someone speaks Spanish and can talk to me. Yeah, sure, come on in. Even though they're not interested, sure, right? But then they see how good the product is, they buy into you, and then how affordable it is, so they'll buy. But there's a reality, right? Most of the leads in America are going to be English. So you have to embrace it. You have to get better. And as I tell agents who are bilingual, the English leads are the reality of this business. The Spanish leads are fantasy, right? Again, Spanish-speaking people are a little bit more hospitable, but also it's rare that people come. I mean, when is the last time that a Spanish-speaking solar guy or pest control guy came to your house? It's very rare. Most of them just speak English. So when you finally have a professional come to their house in Spanish, they're rolling out the red carpet for you, right? But again, that's a fantasy land. And we know the Spanish leads are rare and hard to come by. Spanish people don't, go out of their way to ask for information. So you just have to hunker down, get better with the English leads. Your English is great, is good enough to sell, right? Will you lose some people because of the accent and they're like making it harder than it really is to understand you? Sure. That's where you can, again, listen to the audios about how to improve your speech maybe, right? How to have a better accent. There's, I'm sure, stuff on YouTube and books and stuff that you can read to get better with that. But the English leads is what the reality is here. At this point in my career, I don't work Spanish leads, right? Therefore, my team, right? I work leads that are farther away. I work leads, if I get Spanish, is very rare or by accident. But the English leads is the reality here, right? And when you look at like the number one agent in the company, Mr. Howard Geyer, he doesn't speak Spanish, right? All he does is English leads, and he sells 400,000 a year, every year for like 6 years, 7 years now, right? And all English. So it's possible. Do we have to be a little bit more firm? Yes. Is it more numbers? Yes. You're only going to close 30%, right, on Spanish leads because of the lack of Spanish agents, because of the lack of companies that will help some of these speaking people or don't have stuff in Spanish. There's many reasons. The Spanish client leads might close at a higher percentage than English, but if you do the English right, you will get 30% closing ratio, right? Now, there's two things you can do to get just better at it and be profitable in your business. One, don't just rely on Spanish leads, right? You got to ask for referrals from the Spanish people that you talk to and find Spanish communities. Usually where there's one Latino, there's many Latinos, right? So you find an apartment that a lead takes you, ask them, hey, this apartment complex is mostly Latinos, and you'd be surprised that most of the time it is, right? Or, hey, which ones of your neighbors speak Spanish, right? And they might not know, most of them here are English, but you know what? If you go like 10 houses down, I know where there's a red truck, they're also Latino because they be having Mexican music and stuff and parties, so I know for sure they're Mexican. And they don't even know them, but they'll tell you, and you can go where the red truck is at and go talk to a Spanish-speaking house that are going to be more open. It's a cold door. Who cares? They're going to be more open, less prepared, and, are going to be able to communicate with you. So, but it's just more English leads, more failure is how you're going to learn. Obviously, you got a great manager in Oscar that's going to coach you and train you and get you better. And also cold door knock the English neighbors too. That way you can get better with your English, get more comfortable, and know how to overcome objections and dominate the English leads as well.
Eric, you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, one last question. I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm having a lot of trouble trying to get in the house. When you go out and knock door, what kind of advice do you give us?
Because the call's long, and that's more specific thing, brother. And Oscar's a great friend of mine, and not just because of that, but follow me on social media, send me a message, and I can have a one-on-one for you. Final Expense Expert on Instagram, and I would love to have a conversation with you personally to help you with that.
Perfect.
That way we can give other chance for other questions. I'll be happy to give you a one-on-one on that, Mr. Danny.
Okay, thank you. And then let's see, we have phone ending in 0373. Your name and your question?
Hello, Eric. This is Ramon Valdez. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Mr. Ramon. Great. How about you?
I'm doing great. Hey, just want to say thank you for all the great knowledge you're putting out there. Congratulations on your success. And just one thing I want, you talked about earlier. One was about closing, being a closer. Now,
yes,
why
sir.
don't you just, they'll assume that there's magic sauce. There's a certain line that everybody says that converts people to say, yes, I want to do that. But agree with me or not, do you believe that we can say that really what closes people is your presentation?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Ramon. First of all, Ramon, thank you. Ramon, great friend of mine. We've been traveling the world here together for a few years now. Great to see you in Italy, brother, and thank you for the leads. We're a team here. Ramon heard that I needed some leads, and he was able to give one of my agents some leads that were assigned for him. And that's the great thing about the Golden Memorial family. We're all willing to help each other out, so thank you, Ramon, for that. He did have a successful outing and is still working those leads, actually, so thank you, Ramon. But yeah, look, a lot of doubts and concerns can be addressed with your presentation. The more you're equipped with the great presentation and you learn the script that's provided, the less questions and objections you're going to have. If you have the presentation and don't do it the way you're trained to do it, more questions, you left more bases uncovered, right? So the better your presentation, absolutely, the easier the close is going to be. With that said, even the great Ramon Valdez, even Howard Gard doesn't close every presentation, but you do it properly, you should close between 60 to 70% of your presentations, right? And it has to get uncomfortable in the close. You have to call them out, right? And to talk about closing here a little bit, first of all, I would agree with Ramon that your presentation has to be on point, but also your belief has to be through the roof. Right? You guys can kind of read my passion here talking to you guys. And I give a presentation in a similar fashion when it's like, I make them feel like they're dumb if they don't get this. Like, why would you not want money in 24 hours? Why would you not want a 24-hour claim service to help you with your family with the claim? Why wouldn't you want $1,000 to be saving in the process of dealing with the funeral homes, right? So my attitude is super intense. Well, not super, but it's intense. It's passionate. And it's like, it makes them feel dumb if they're going to come up with, well, I already have life insurance. Like, I already told them that it's not the same, right? So knowing your stuff, doing the presentation the right way, and the belief that you have in it, showing them how better their family is going to be taken care of with this program. And if they don't have anything, why it's the best thing going. And I look at them dumb when they talk about they're going to shop around. Like, there's nothing to shop around, dude. This is it, right? This is it. Right? This is it. You know what I mean? It's like saying, whatever, we have the best thing going and there's none that comes close to it. And when you have that attitude and that belief, more people are going to buy into your belief, see that it's affordable, and get the program. But absolutely, you have to. That's why I don't even go out with an agent if they haven't learned the script. They're wasting my time. It's like, I can't even put you in the presentation seat and help me do a presentation. Why should I take you out in the field if you're not even taking the time to learn the script? If you don't learn the script, it tells me that you don't have time for this job, so why even do it? You're too busy with what you're doing, right? You don't have the energy to do it or don't have the discipline or the will to do it, so why should I waste my time training you when I can go change someone else's life who's serious about learning this stuff and going out and helping people and getting rich?
Right. Yeah, and just one other thing real quick, Eric. Again, you had a great month last month, and it's consistent, right? But now you'll have those that have thoughts of, oh, well, what was it? What was special that he did? What was it that he did? Why can't I do it in 2-3 days of work a week? And I think you're going to answer that the way I know you are, but there's only one there's only one special thing that you do, and that's going to be your work ethic. The fact that you're out there doing what you got to do, and not sitting at home hoping. And you know, me
Right.
coming again from the car business, we used to sit there and we'd see people, just our agents, sales agents, just watching, and we'd always say there's those that are watching, and there's those that are watching people make it happen, and there's those that are making it happen.
Yeah, there's people that are there are people that ask themselves, what the hell just happened?
Right. Exactly.
But let me tell you this, though, Ramon, and I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to mention it, you guys, because I talk about, you know, work ethic. And, like, obviously, and Ramon can relate. He's been here for a few years. Tez, who talked earlier, can relate. He's been here for a few years. After a few years, you guys, you don't have to work as hard. And I can't believe I missed this, and you reminded me. Guys, last month, I did not work one weekend. Talk about quality of lifestyle here with this business. Last month, I did $47,200, and I did not knock a door not one Saturday, not one Sunday. So I had the weekends with my family, right? I was able to go play soccer. I was able to go and do things with my family. It was my mother-in-law's birthday, I think the last weekend of the month. And we stayed at a hotel, right, in the pool with my kids. Guys, the lifestyle, the quality of life that you have in this business is just crazy after a few years. And it's not like you're killing yourself for the first 2 to 3 years. But, again, I forgot to mention that important fact. It's not like I was dogging it last month and not doing anything and just working. It was way easier because I made my bed and I'm reaping the rewards of my book of business and just obviously my improvements and the dedication to my craft and the belief in what I do and listening to audiobooks, that my quality of life is just crazy now in comparison to what I had used to have to do to make the same type of money. Right? So I'm glad you brought that up because, again, last month I did not work not one weekend, not one Saturday, not one Sunday, and still managed to pull out $47,500 or $200.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you both. And now we have phone ending in 4827. Your name and your question, please.
Hey, this is Xander. I just wanted to say thank you to Eric. He's my manager, and you're awesome, brother, and it's inspiring to watch you work. And I just, every day I go out there with the vision of creating something as great as you've created. So thank you.
For sure, brother. Congratulations on your success. Back-to-back months of over 10,000 in production, and I know it's just the beginning. And remember, Robert's your manager. Robert's the one that took you out to the field. Robert's the one that, you know, told you about the job. So you have Robert and me to help you out, and you just another success story, following the system, putting in the work, right? We had a rocky start there, right? But to be fair, you were figuring things out and trying things out, and it is what it is, but we're happy to have you, and you're killing it. So we look forward to traveling the world with you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, and let's see. We have one final question. 5490. Phone ending in 5490. Your name and your question, please.
Hey, Eric. How you doing? This is Rick.
Hey, Rick.
First than anything, man, I want to congratulate you on your success. I mean, you're awesome. I still remember the first time that I met you at the bus in Hawaii. Remember?
Yes, sir.
We sat together and everything. And, you know, I knew you were going to be really, really, really good. But, man, you're great. You're an inspiration. And I really appreciate, you know, the times that we talk and everything and the time that we spent together on the trips, man. So congratulations and have an awesome life, you know, the way we're having it.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it, bro. We haven't missed a trip, bro, since we've been there. We've been to Hawaii, and then we went to Canada. I think we went to Vegas after that. Where else did we go? We were supposed to go to Madrid, but COVID happened. We went to Palm Beach.
Exactly.
Actually, we went to the Bahamas before that.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Italy. We went to Seattle. And then now we're going to go to Cayman Islands and Yellowstone next year, man. And you're always up there in the top 10 most of the time. Top 20 in the company, top 10 in the agency. So great job, Rick. Glad to see it.
Well, man, thank you very much, and keep going, man.
Thanks, brother. I'll see you on the next trip.
Sure, bye-bye.
All right, thank you both. Eric, if there's anything you'd like to say in closing?
No, I think I said what I had to say. You know, guys, I'm telling you, this business works. It's real. It's just it's your own production, right? And I'm sorry, it's just your own efforts. You don't have to rely on anybody else. It's just you and your leads and the people in front of you and helping people, blessing people. I'm telling you, the product is great. The company does what they have to do. They pay their policies quickly. It's just a matter of you going out there and doing it, right? And I'll tell you this, for some people that maybe are struggling or are not having success, there's no shame in having to do other job while you still stick to this, right? Because to me, it's crazy how sometimes people only want to continue working here if this business helps them keep them afloat. But what I learned from my other business is that there's nothing wrong with taking money from other jobs and investing it in leads, for example, or paying down your debt here. Too many people are allergic to bringing outside investments, right, from their other jobs that they have to do it to help them keep their business afloat and keep going, right? I invested way more money than I made in my previous 9-year business venture, going to this meeting, going to that meeting. Now we're going across the country to this. Now they've got to pay for this, got to do this. You're right. Going to presentations, driving an hour away, no one signing up, no one getting the product, made no money, invested the time and money, but my job would feed my business, right? This is different where for, you know, a lot of us, we don't have to do it, but if you want to make it happen, if you have a desire to make something big, if you get inspired by these stories, if you want time and money together, if you want to be your own boss, and you know that you're green, you know that you're not good, but you're willing to do what it takes, there's nothing wrong with having another job, barely sleeping, but keeping discipline with your business and invest other money into this business to keep taking leads, to keep knocking doors, to keep talking to people, and keep getting better. Right? At the same time, make sure you're listening to the audiobooks. Make sure you're plugged in to the training like Tez said. Make sure you learn your presentation like Ramon talked about, right? Make sure you're asking the right questions to get better and learn and move forward, right? So just incremental improvements day after day that can get you better. And I like to, you know, see everyone reach their goals and have success, you know. But that's what I'll end it with. But you're in the right place, in the right time. It's what you're going to do with the opportunity that's available in front of you. So thank you, guys. Again, we'll have a Spanish call next week on a similar topic. Thank you, Angie, for all your help and support. Thank you, Golden Memorial. Thank you, Anne-Marie. And we'll be in touch.
Okay,
I'll
thank
see you guys at the top.
Bye. Again.
Bye-bye now.